to the D&D Morning Show.
I was gonna do it.
I knew he was, so I thought I'd stop him before he started to
It
save
was coming.
you. To save you from it.
I think
the
they love it.
madness.
I think you love it. Tell the truth.
Me?
No.
Oh, them.
Our audience.
Oh.
Love it. What do we got?
I would like to know, hear from them if they like it. Maybe they can let us know.
I think our audience is too nice. Would you guys be like, no, it's horrible? Make it stop.
Stop that now.
All right, what do we got?
Oh, today we got another fun-packed show. Does that make sense? Because that's what was coming out. You just never know.
Never know.
We're going to be talking about today about honey and natural sweeteners in baking to replace sugar. So that's what our main topic today. We've got a fun fact to start off with first. That's him trying to be funny. It's about my grandma driving. So we're going to get into that in a minute here. And then we've got a new recipe for you, a pumpkin loaf. And we'll end off with a quote about bees. Because we're talking about honey, so bees.
So if you guys haven't noticed, we've been doing themed shows.
Yes.
We thought that'd be a nice way to improve on what we got going on here.
Yeah, we're always trying to improve, get better at what we do, so it's a new wave of improvement.
We'll see how it goes. Let us know how you enjoy it. All right, so.
Drew cannot wait for this fun fact.
Oh my gosh. I think it's worse in the winter, but Dorothy drives like a grandmother. I'm trying to say that in the nicest way possible. So I was like, I had to go to the gym for an appointment, and I was like, Dorothy was dropping me off. I was like, all right, let's go. And we live close, but there's only a few minutes, so she's like slowly backing out. And I was like, okay, like I'm being patient, like maybe she needs some time to back up. So she backs up, and then she starts taking off, and like she's driving, and I'm like, okay. I was like, I need to get there, and she's like, I'm going.
In my defense, it's my turn now.
Okay.
Our driveway has like a little dip in it when you back out, so you have to like go very carefully, or else it'll go clunk. And you would not like that very much if I did that either.
Oh, it's true, but
It is true.
Once you've backed out as slowly as humanly possible, then you put it in park, and then you get going, and you don't go any faster. It's like slowly, gradually up.
I'm very cautious.
All right, I gotta tell you this one too.
Oh dear,
So
here's another one.
We were playing this, not a trick, but wait, surprises.
It was last Christmas we were doing for one of our close friends the 12 days of Christmas. I had 21. I'm like, 21 days of Christmas? No, 12 days of Christmas. So you deliver each day a little goodie to their door, but they don't know who's delivering them.
So was it going to be a surprise, like each present is a surprise for each day?
And you have to be sneaky.
So we were sneaking in, and we pulled up in front of her house, and we had this, I think it was a tree at that time, a little tiny tree, and I put it in front of the doorstep, and I was trying to be really quiet because you're like thinking all these things, like what if she's walking by the door? And because you put the present there, you knock on the door, ring the doorbell, and run. I was like, what if she walks by, or what if she hears, or what if she can hear me creeping up? So it's a stressful situation. And I would creep up there, and I put the plant on the doorstep. I ring the doorbell, and I run out to the car, and I jump in, and I'm like, let's go. And Dorothy's like, okay. And she like puts her blinker on, shoulder checks, pulls out. I'm like, let's go. And she's like, I am. What's the hurry? I'm like, what do you mean, what's the hurry? So that was, I'll always remember that. I'm like, let's go. And she's like, okay.
I am going. This is my speed.
Oh boy.
Oh man. But that's been that's always been, since I started driving. I was always super cautious and slow, and it's just how I'm comfortable.
Just how you are.
Just how I am.
Something we need to accept.
Yes.
All right, what do we got today?
Drew loved that fun fact.
Yeah, that one cracks me up.
So I was kind of looking to some of our past shows throughout our topics, and
Should we do this? Sorry.
he totally interrupted me, so now I'm off track.
Oh, I just thought before we get into the main topic, maybe we want to do that.
Sure. Yeah. We usually do that after, but it's fine to do it now.
All right, so I just wanted to mention this came in from Donna Thomas.
Thank you so much.
And we just want to say thank you so much. Donna's a subscriber to the D&D Morning Show, and she wrote us a beautiful handwritten note.
Oh, it was so nice.
Never see handwritten notes anymore. We often send out cards in different situations to clients and members because we understand that many times you only get bills in the mail or junk mail.
Junk mail.
So we always think it's nice to have a handwritten card, but we don't really get them back very often.
Yeah. Well, now in the days of email and phones, cell phones, you get a lot of things electronically now. Like an email, happy birthday, or we rarely get things in the mail, and when we do, it's rarely like positive. So.
Right. And this is super positive because
super.
It was like handwritten. It was a nice little gift, and then Donna has this Louise Hay I Can Do It calendar for 2018. So we just thought it's important to, as Donna knows, it's so important to be conscious of your environment, what you're reading and seeing on a regular basis. So you get to see this every day now.
Yes.
So thank you.
Super excited. It's going to be very difficult to wait till the new year to open.
I know. I even thought about opening one, reading one for them, but I was like, we should wait.
We should wait.
Again, thank you so much. That means a lot to us.
It does mean a lot. There's something about going to the mailbox and having a surprise, right? Mm-hmm. So thoughtful. So thank you, Donna.
Okay, so now that I ruined your flow.
He did. He interrupted the flow.
Maybe we can jump into the main topic.
Yes. So as I was saying before, I was looking back to past shows and I noticed that there was one particular show we talked about replacing oils and butters with applesauce, and I thought, hey, let's do one with honey. So honey in baking is going to replace your refined sugar. And a lot of times I find when you're new to healthy baking, there can be some hesitation. But what I find is that a lot of explanations of how to do that are super in depth, and they don't have to be. It's super simple to convert. So try not to get like lost in it being too complex, because it isn't complex. It's super easy. So all you do is, if you're using a recipe that calls for sugar, like refined white sugar, you can just cut that in half, the measurement in half, and replace it with honey. So for example, if your recipe called for 1 cup of sugar, you could use a half a cup of honey. And one area, I know one is you're dry, like the sugar is a dry and the honey is a liquid. And you can read all of these different complex things. Well, you have to lessen the liquid because now you have the honey and it's the liquid and da-da-da-da. But I don't worry about any of that. Just convert your sugar and your honey, and trust me, you'll be fine. It'll work out just fine.
I think it happens a lot. Like anytime you go to healthy cooking, like it happens a lot with stir fries. Like stir fries is the easiest meal you could possibly make. All you do is chop up your vegetables and throw it in a pan and let them cook together. But people want to know which one. You can put them in different orders, but like what order they go in, how long do you leave them in for, what sauces you put in there. Like just cook it.
Yeah.
Practice cooking it, these different foods together, and sooner or later it's going to turn out delicious. And it doesn't take very long. I think it's that mindset of, oh my gosh, it's healthy, it's different ingredients, what am I going to do? Yeah.
And it's not that scary. I think we get ourselves all worked up about it's too difficult. What if it goes wrong? We have we set ourselves up and then we get scared off from doing it. But it's super easy.
And if it doesn't turn out, don't give up. Like it happens with anything in life, anything that you do that's worthwhile is going to take more than one shot at it. And unfortunately, I think we give it one try, and we're like, oh, that baking didn't turn out, never doing
that again.
And we understand that it's emotionally taxing.
Oh yes.
And financially sometimes when you bake something and it doesn't turn out, but if you practice, you're going to get better at it, and it's going to taste better. So don't just give up, because if you give up on anything in life, you're not going to succeed in any place you want to go.
Well, and two, we've been baking if you're just kind of transitioning to healthy baking, you've been baking a certain way for so many years, and then you give healthy baking one try, right? And it didn't work, so you're like, that doesn't work at all, right? So just kind of put that into perspective and think about trying, like if it didn't work out the first time, trying again and again until you find it. it kind of made me chuckle when you said it's emotionally taxing when it doesn't work out, because I've had tears. I've had tears when things don't work out.
It's true.
But it's not the end of the world.
You'll be talking to yourself here.
Yeah. The chickens have eaten some of my muffins. That didn't turn out.
Dorothy does have a rare talent that she's naturally good at baking healthy, I think. But she also puts in a lot of time and effort into practicing and making healthy creations. So for you to get better at baking, or again at anything, it's going to take some practice. So we just want to mention that don't give up. Like push forward, and you'll start to get better at it, and you'll start to make delicious, healthy baking.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to mention before we end this segment of the show that another, like, in addition to honey, you could also use maple syrup. So those are two really fantastic, what do I want to say? Alternatives to refined sugar. Healthy substitutes? Healthy substitutes?
Same difference.
Same difference. Getting caught up in my words now.
All right, so during the Thanksgiving season, during the Halloween season, depending on where you are, at least in North America, you have Thanksgiving. I guess if you're not in North America, you don't have Thanksgiving, but Canadian Thanksgiving comes first, the U.S. Thanksgiving comes after, and there's all kinds of pumpkins.
Everywhere.
Pumpkins for Halloween, pumpkins for Thanksgiving, pumpkin pies.
And can I just say Drew went crazy with pumpkins this year?
It's
A
true.
little overboard.
It's true.
So we have lots of pumpkins.
So if you're in this situation at all, or maybe you just like pumpkins.
Yeah.
Dorothy came up with this delicious pumpkin loaf that won't stay in your house for very long, so caution yourself.
It is very delicious and super, super easy to make as well. We'll post the full recipe, but it's just I can't get over how good it is.
What's in it?
What's in it? So all you need to do is you have two separate bowls, your dry and your wet. In your dry ingredients, you have your gluten-free flour, your complete truth protein is going to be your best choice there. If you don't have that, a regular flour will work too, but just won't have the nutritional benefits of the complete truth protein. And then you put in all your baking stuff, so your spices, your baking powder, baking soda. And then in your wet ingredients is where all of the substance is. So that's where we have the pumpkin, we have maple syrup, we have applesauce. And then what I did to make it even more delicious is I added some GMO-free, some sugar-free dark chocolate chips.
And how many ingredients you got in that one?
In that
chocolate chips?
Pumpkin, in the chocolate chips, there's only two ingredients. One is cacao powder, and one is cacao butter. Yeah, awesome. two ingredients.
So that I just wanted to emphasize that you can find healthy chocolate chips.
Mm-hmm. And of course, they will be a bit more expensive compared to your traditional chocolate chips, but you get what you pay for.
Right.
With anything.
I always think that if they put more ingredients in low quality products, it should cost more.
Because there are more ingredients.
It's like regular chocolate chips, they got like 15 ingredients.
They do.
And they don't cost much money at all, but then you have your good, clean, healthy chocolate chips with only 2 ingredients. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it should be the opposite.
I'm begging what you're mowing.
Okay, so that one's fantastic. You got to give that a try.
Yeah, so then you just combine your wet and your dry, give it a little stir, pop it in the oven for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and then it's like this moist little mountain of deliciousness. Drew actually tried to I was experimenting with the recipe, and sometimes, you have to try a couple of times before you get what you want, and or the taste that you need. And anyway,
Dorothy was like, this isn't going to turn out. I don't think I did it right. So that's why I had to set her up a little bit.
Yeah. So when I was out training, I come back home, and Drew's like, I don't know about your loaf. He's like, you're not going to want to have that. I'm like, oh no, you tried it? He said, yeah, it tasted horrible, he said to me. And I think he's being serious. And I'm like, oh, darn it. I'm like, what did I do wrong? And I'm like, da da da. So I go over and have a little piece, because sometimes when you taste it, you can tell what you did wrong. I have a little slice, and it was so delicious. So that was his way of trying to have the whole loaf to himself. He's like, you better just let me eat it, because it's not very good.
True. Don't judge me. If you tasted it, you wouldn't share it either.
So we'll put that recipe up, and you can try it out yourself.
All right, let's end off with a quote.
I have to read this one. So since we were talking about honey, I thought it'd be cute to have a honeybee recipe.
Yeah.
Or a quote.
I like this one.
So it says, advice from a honeybee. Create a buzz. Sip life's sweet moments. Mind your own beeswax. Work together. Always find your way home. Stick close to your honey. And be yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that nice? It's cute.
That was like a grade 1 poem.
Poem. Perfect for me.
Perfect for you.
'Cause I'm probably about 6 years old.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the D&D Morning Show.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next show.
See you guys.
Bye.